Hello everyone, my name is Nitesh and I welcome you all to my channel. In today's video, I will talk about math intuition behind the support vector machine. In my previous video, I gave an introduction to support vector machines and explained all the terminologies involved. If you haven't watched that video, I do recommend you to watch that one before continuing to this video. Well, that's being said, let's start this lecture. In order to get started, I would first like to remind you some properties of vectors. Let's say we have a two-dimensional vector A. So the norm of A can be written as norm of A is equals to under root of A1 square plus A2 square. Norm is also known as the length of the vector. Next, if we want to evaluate the direction of the vector, then we can find it using A divided by norm of A. If we have one more vector B and we wish to find out the addition of vectors A and B, we will have a new vector whose element will be A1 plus B1 and A2 plus B2. And similarly, we can calculate A minus B. Now let's see what A transpose B looks like. A transpose B is also called the inner product between the vectors A and B. So the inner product between A and B is A1 into B1 plus A2 into B2. So first thing first, we know that in SVM we draw an optimal hyperplane. So now we will see how can we evaluate an optimal hyperplane. To do so, we will first see what is the equation of a hyperplane. Let's consider this distribution of data points in two-dimensional space. Here I have drawn an arbitrary hyperplane which is separating the blue data points from the yellow data points. In 2D, hyperplane is a line and equation of a line is mx plus b is equals to y, which can be rewritten as mx minus y plus b is equals to 0. Now we define two vectors, vector w is equals to m minus 1 and vector x is equals to xy. I am denoting vectors using yellow color so that it is more clear to you. Now if I calculate inner product between w and x, which is w transpose x, this will be equal to mx minus y, which is nothing but this, right? So if I add b in w transpose x, we get w transpose x plus b equal to 0. This equation is another form of line equation and called as equation of hyperplane. Although we have solved this in two-dimensional space, this equation of hyperplane is the general equation for any n-dimensional space. Since here x and y are the features x1 and x2, and if we have more features, still the equation of hyperplane will remain the same. Therefore, this equation is the generalized hyperplane equation for any n-dimensional space. Now when we have the equation of hyperplane, let's see what impact it adds on the classification using an example. Suppose we have this dataset distributed on 2D space and we draw an arbitrary hyperplane passing through 0, 4 and 1, 0. When we solve for the slope m of this hyperplane, we get m is equals to minus 4. So now we have vector w is equals to minus 4 minus 1. And to calculate the value of b, we take vector x as 1, 0. Solving this, we get b is equals to 4. Now as we know the values of w and b, let's take a vector x from yellow data points. X is equals to 1.1, 1. When we solve for w transpose x plus b, we get minus 1.4. Similarly, take a vector x from the blue data points and solve w transpose x plus b, we get plus 1.2. Notice that we get a negative value for a yellow data point and a positive value for a blue data point. This is true for any data point. If we take any blue data point, we will get a positive value, and for any yellow point, we will get a negative value. Based on this, we can label this dataset into two classes. The blue data points can be labeled as positive class y plus or simply plus 1 class. And the yellow data points can be labeled as negative class y minus or simply minus 1 class. And we have a hyperplane segregating these two classes. In SVM, we have two more hyperplanes passing through the support vectors. These hyperplanes are parallel to the main hyperplane. One is the positive margin hyperplane and the other is the negative margin hyperplane. The hyperplane equation for negative margin hyperplane is W transpose X plus B is equals to minus 1 because it is passing through the support vectors of minus 1 class. And similarly, hyperplane equation for positive margin hyperplane is W transpose X plus B is equals to plus 1. See, instead of 1, we can take any constant, let's say delta, but for simplicity in SVM, we take it as 1 only. So that for each vector xi, if the value W transpose xi plus b is greater than or equal to plus 1, this vector belongs to plus 1 class. And if the value of W transpose xi plus b is less than or equal to minus 1, this vector belongs to minus 1 class. Now when we have all the three planes and their equations, we calculate margin, which is the distance between the hyperplanes h1 and h2. The goal of SVM is to maximize the margin so that we can have an optimal hyperplane that best separates the data points. Let's draw a perpendicular on hyperplane h1 from the origin. The shortest distance between h1 hyperplane and origin is d1 is equals to minus 1 minus b divided by norm of w. Similarly, the shortest distance shown by the red line here between h2 hyperplane and origin is d2 is equals to 1 minus b divided by norm of w. Now the margin is the absolute value of the difference between d1 and d2. After solving, we have margin is equals to 2 divided by norm of w. Now we need to maximize 2 divided by norm of w or minimize norm of w divided by 2. So this is the objective function we need to optimize. Here the norm of w is rewritten as square root of w transpose w, and since L2 optimization is more stable than L1 optimization, we can further rewrite the optimization function as minimum of 1 by 2 w transpose w. And this objective function is subject to w transpose dot x plus b into yi greater than or equal to 1, where yi is equals to y positive comma y negative, which is the label of the classes. So if this condition is satisfied for all the data points x, we can save the parameters w and b and can draw a hyperplane which is the optimal hyperplane. Otherwise, we need to update the values of w and b. But what is the significance of this condition? It is little tricky, but I will try to explain you in a very simple way and also conclude everything we have studied so far. So here is the final SVM diagram. Accordingly, if W transpose X plus B is greater than or equal to 1, data point X is from Y plus class. And if W transpose X plus B is less than or equal to minus 1, data point X is from Y minus class. These equations can also be written as just multiply Y plus both sides in first equation and Y minus in second equation. Also, we have y plus is equal to plus 1 and y minus equal to minus 1. Now look at this first equation. Here we know that the term W transpose X plus B is always positive and y plus is also positive. Hence, the left-hand side term will always be a positive number greater than or equal to 1. Now let's see the second equation here. Here we know that the term W transpose X plus B is always negative and Y minus is also negative, which is minus 1. Hence the product of these two terms becomes positive and we have a positive value greater than or equal to plus 1. Therefore, the less than or equal to sign will change to greater than or equal to sign, and this equation can be rewritten. And after combining both these equations, we have W transpose X plus B into Yi is greater than or equal to 1, where Yi is equals to Y plus comma Y minus. This equation will classify the data points. Let's see how. For any data point X, if W transpose X plus B into Yi is greater than or equal to 1, then we can say that the X is correctly classified and we save the parameters W and B. Otherwise, X is incorrectly classified and we will update the values of W and B. And how will we calculate W and B? That we will do using our objective function that we derived, such that this condition is satisfied. So SVM is all about finding the values of W and B so that the margin is maximum and all the data points are correctly classified. Now let me tell you one important point here. This approach of finding optimal hyperplane is called hard margin SVM, and this is only good when data is linearly separable. But in real world, the data is mostly distributed non-linearly. Let's understand this. Suppose we have two new entries in our dataset. Using hard margin SVM, we will have a new hyperplane something like this. But obviously, we do not want this hyperplane because the margin here is very narrow. And just because of two bad data points, we do not want to update the whole model. This problem is called the overfitting of the classifier. Because we are considering each and every data point and updating the model accordingly. To resolve this issue, we consider some data points as error data points called as slack variables and do not change our hyperplane. This approach is called soft margin SVM. In this, we calculate the shortest distance between each of the slack variable and main hyperplane. The idea here is to allow SVM to make a certain number of mistakes and keep margin as wide as possible so that other points can still be classified correctly. This can be done simply by modifying the objective function of SVM. The modified objective function is written as, here we subtracted the sum of all the slack variable distances from the previous objective function, and C is the controlling parameter that limits the number of errors that our model is allowed to consider, since we cannot afford a large number of error data points. So this is the summary of hard and soft SVM. But when the dataset is completely nonlinear, we apply kernel trick or kernel function to solve such problems. I will explain kernels in my next video. So I end this video here. If you have any doubt, feel free to add a comment in the comment section below. I will give my best to explain you. Also, if you want to give me any suggestions on my way of explaining, you are most welcome to do so in the comment section below. If you like this video, please click the like button below and also subscribe to PhDFi.